Last minute down to the wire, gotta have this ready by tomorrow in probably less than 12 hours. That's where I do my best work, and by best I mean worst, but it is what it is, and today I'm taking a look at Ultra Magnus. I want to say before anyone even tries to think it, I know it's in the video name and everything, but I want to make this absolutely clear. This is not the Missing Link version. This is not Missing Link Ultra Magnus. This is one of the reissues from however long ago of G1 Ultra Magnus. So this is G1, pretty much G1 as G1 gets, with the exception of, I think, like the smokestacks on the cab are much shorter. But I don't know that there are any other differences. So yes, this is not Missing Link. It does not have the extra articulation or anything like that. It's just reissue of G1 Magnus. So with that out of the way, here is Magnus's classic tractor trailer mode. It is Ultra Magnus. Like, I feel like the only thing about this that really stands out as kind of meh is the fact that the smokestacks on the cab are so short. And also the missiles are so absurdly long. Like, these are ridiculous. These things are huge. Anyway, it's classic G1. Can you tell I have no idea what I'm doing right now? Classic Ultra Magnus truck carrier. The carrier, unfortunately, due to probably just the age and stuff, I'm pretty sure the G1 toy didn't do this either. You don't really have anything to prop the carrier up when the cab's not plugged in, but it's got this really long base, so it doesn't lean forward too much. But the cab itself, it's a cab. It's Ultra Magnus, or rather Optimus Prime, but in white. Maybe a little off-white in places due to the age of the toy, but it is what it is. This guy is the classic one, so he's got that issue where he doesn't actually have fists. You need to have them separate, but I do the thing that I think a lot of people do, and this is something I didn't think to do as a child because I was a child, but I just pop the fists into the cab. They can sit where the little Diaclone pilots would sit, and you don't have to worry about losing them. That said, these bigger fists are still a thing. I'm not entirely sure where to put these. I don't think they'd fit in here with the other fists in there as well, but it's fine. But anyway, it's an Optimus cab. The detailing for a G1 toy is nice. It's very clearly got robot bits underneath, but it is nice for what it is, and the tires are, I don't know if they're rubber, but they are squishy. But they don't seem to be doing the annoying plasticizer thing, and they are not split, which is one of the reasons why I'm pretty sure this is a reissue, but also the listing that I bought it on was saying it's a reissue. Chrome's looking nice. Again, the smokestacks are incredibly short, but that doesn't really bother me. And then the trailer is this. It's got that light blue, lightish blue, the red and the white for the bars going across the top, and it's Ultra Magnus. Yeah, doesn't really do much of anything because it's this, but then that's not true. It can do stuff. One thing it can do, actually, let's plug you back in here. It can do the ramp thing. It can unhook the ramps, bring them down. I completely forgot that this guy had a third missile. So that's where I've been keeping that, apparently. Third missile. But anyway, you can bring the ramps down. You can drive a G1 car in there. This is the only G1 car that I currently have. So you can overdo it with a little G1 Bumblebee, or if you want to have them go up top, you can push these little bits in here. They just push in, and then you can bring this down. Though it actually works better to do the bend up there first. There you go. And when you bend that down, now it actually gives you kind of like a ramp that you can use, so you can roll B or whatever other car in there and have them get stuck, because this is at a weird angle, but They can roll up, and yeah, it's functionality that I'm pretty sure a lot of people were missing from certain other modern Magnus toys. I'm pretty sure Studio Series gave you the option, even if it was more awkward than this. But you can do that. You can store little cars up there. Bumblebee is not the best example for this, but like I said, that's the one I got. And yeah, car carrier. Now, he does come with some extra stuff. There are the big fists, which don't matter for this mode. There is the gun. I'm not sure where to store this. I don't think there's a space down here for it, which is disappointing because it would have been cool if you could just peg this in down here somewhere. Also, this is something I either never knew as a kid or have long since forgot, but apparently his waist piece parts forms onto the bottom here to become the trailer hitch, which is actually really cool. Like, I actually legitimately really like that. I think that's a nice way of keeping it around and also making it relevant to the alt mode. But anyway, gun looks like this, doesn't really go anywhere. And then there is the combo chest plate and head helmet thing that don't really have any place to go in this mode either. But whatever. It's G1, and I'm going to say it, way better than what we got with the Seekers. I do think it's funny how had this toy for so long as a kid, never knew about the Diaclone functionality because, you know, why would I? It was the 80s, they didn't talk about the Diaclone stuff with all this. But I remember seeing this before like a couple of years, I think, before the Missing Link even got announced. But seeing how these two bits are actually designed to combine, and even back then it did work. You just have this big open spot on the helmet here, this big chunky bit back here. You just peg them together like it's supposed to do that, and this creates like a little Diaclone vehicle, and that's why he's got this little... I never read it as a seat when I was a kid growing up, but that is totally a seat for a Diaclone pilot. So yeah, you could plug this in, and now it's like got little cannons on top or something. And that's kind of it for the alt mode. It rolls really well, and because Magnus can actually turn pretty far, you've got a lot of range with this. Now, size-wise, he's G1 Magnus, no bigger than he normally is, but looks huge compared to Bumblebee. And just for the heck of it, bring in Overprime, who, as a reminder, is our standard-ish modern deluxe surrogate. Now, to do stuff, we're going to move this off to the side, and I'm going to take the cab and do an Optimus Prime. So I'm going to fold down the legs, which are pretty clicky, and they're actually designed, they're geared and with the spring and everything, and designed so that when you bring the leg down, it actually shifts out automatically. So even in the 80s, they had automorph. So flip that down, flip the toes forward, and there you go. Next, rotate the arms out, and you want to slide this section back. You actually do slide it back. You don't just rotate it. That one wants to stick. But this one you can see slides out, and then it rotates forward. And I think I'm also going to use this opportunity to just toss out the fists. Now, let's see if I can yoink this. There we go. Very sticky, but rotate that down. And then the fists can plug into the headlights. And lastly, you just flip the little head plank up and tab it in. And there is G1 Ultra Magnus's core robot mode. He is Optimus Prime, but white, and he looks really, really awkward because it's G1. A little gangly, but I still like him. I do think this is actually a pretty cool robot overall. I remember actually enjoying this guy quite a lot just on his own. Of course, I didn't have the fists because I lost them because I was a child. Get some extra sticker detailing in the toes and knees and forearms, which I do appreciate that the stickers are on this. It's cool. I like this robot a lot. He has the gun, which has the big peg for the big hands, but also has the little peg for the little hands, so you can give him the little... theoretically can give him the little rifle in one hand, but that is very tight, so I'm probably not going to do that often. The head is, it's G1 Optimus Prime, but white with a blue faceplate and red eyes, so that's kind of it. I do think this is charming, though. Like, this is, you know, classic G1 Prime toy head is very squat and kind of silly looking, but also that's where my nostalgia is, so I like it a lot. Sucks that it can't move, but whatever. But like, I actually do think that the white with the blue faceplate is actually quite striking. I do like that a lot. I do wonder though if it was like intended to be almost like an inverse of Prime's head, because Prime's head is like primarily blue with the silver faceplate, which the, you know, silver and white not the same, but they're in similar tones. So I kind of feel like in a way this is like inverse, but I don't know. I think this looks neat. Now, for articulation, as mentioned, the head does not turn at all. The arms can go around, and they are clicky. You don't get any outward motion. You can use the transformation joint for a kind of butterfly. You get, because of the transformation, bicep swivels that are very thunky. You get elbows, and because the fists are just pegged in, you get wrist rotation. So that actually trumps a lot of G1 toys. The legs cannot kick forward at all, but they can kick backwards, which detransform them and cause them to shift inward, and they'll eventually knock into this little bit back here. But you can kind of get him... And he has knees. I don't know why he has knees if he can't swing his legs forward, but he has knees. He does not have any thigh rotation and doesn't have any ankle tilt, but the toes can point because of the transformation. So, very, very simple G1 toy articulation. That's part of his charm. Now, as far as the size goes, he is a pretty decent size. Definitely bigger than a Modern Deluxe. I'd say this probably puts him in roughly modern-ish Voyager height and modern-ish Commander weight slash density. And, you know, just for the heck of it, here he is with a, I guess at this point they're old, but a classic style Masterpiece Carbot. So he is about the same height as a Masterpiece Carbot. G2 sideswipe, my beloved. Now, you can do some stuff with the thing, by which I mean this thing. And I honestly don't really know all of the things. Just going by what I can remember, I'm pretty sure you can, like, if you get these up and out of the way, you can push these bits in and then swing these in, open this up, and swing it around. And these will clip into the side. And you can kind of use this as like a... does it go the other way? Oh, yeah, I think it goes the other way. So swing these around this way. Like this, I think. I think that's how it's supposed to go. So I think you just kind of do this, and that can be like a... kind of like a repair bay for the core robot, I think. I don't know. I did not bother doing any research before doing this, so I don't know. I think also another... Oh, what was another thing? I think another thing was like... maybe like this, where it creates like a little platform, and like the truck can go in there. I don't know. It's weird, but he is kind of a playset. It's something I never really thought of when I was growing up with this guy, but you can treat him as such. Okay, anyway, let's do the big combine mode, because this video is such a train wreck. So, with these bits taken off, going to split this section, these bits on the end pegged together, these bits here pegged together, with the very weird pegs and ports, but those pegged together. And then these swing around, and we'll clip in here on either side. Then these will telescope up, and these will telescope up, and same deal here. Now fold these in, and they will kind of click in to the side. I do not remember if the G1 toy did that, but they do peg in right there. And then these swing in, and the red bits click into these structures here. There we go. To pop off the hitch, which is, there are these two big chunky pegs in here, and these two little peg holes on the underside, so that's how that just pegs in there. And then these very conspicuous circles in the waist are where those peg hole things peg instead and give him his underwear. Then you can take this little vehicle, take the little helmet off, and this thing goes into the chest, and there is these little slots on either side here, and these little kind of sticky outy tabs on either side of the what will be the chest plate, and just slots in and clicks in there. And that locks all that together. Bring in the big fists, and those plug in. Unfortunately, they do not store in here in the vehicle mode. They're too wide, and this little opening here is too narrow. They just will not fit, so you have to unpeg them, which is a shame because the Missing Link version clearly figured that out. You just rotate the fists, but that's how they did it. I can take these, which were pegged into the tops of the things here, with the peg holes back here, and these will now instead peg into these peg holes on the sides of the shoulders. And a bit of the downside, but also charm of the G1 toy is the shoulder launchers are not on the same level. They're this one's up, this one's down, which is a little bit meh, but at the same time, it doesn't bother me. This is how it is. It's a G1 toy. And then to put Magnus in there, I'm going to take the gun. Oh, okay, his hand came off. I'm going to take the gun out of his hand. I'm going to unpeg his fists and transform him partially back into his cab, but just to keep the fists tidy, I'm just going to jam them into his chest. And then rotate the arms back, push them forward, and then swing the arms in, and there are these little tabs here that'll go into the sides here. And I don't think those tabs were on the original figure either. I don't remember them. But anyway, now that's going on. You want to keep the head out, and then point the toes, and finally, almost finally, now those big chunky pegs that were holding the trailer hitch in place are going to peg into where his fists used to be. So you just slide this in, and you can kind of line it up with the, you basically just line it up with like the chest level here, and get that lined up. It'll find its spot, give it a little push, and that'll peg in nice and securely. There we go. We'll give him his gun, which just rotate it this way, and now the big peg go into the big fist, and the helmet just plonks down on top of little Core Magnus's head. And there we have him. G1 Ultra Magnus. And this is a really, like, he's still a really cool looking robot mode to this day. I loved the crap out of this toy as a kid. Still love it a lot now. He has less articulation than the core robot, but that doesn't really bother me. Yeah, it's very cool. I love the look of this guy. Classic Magnus, because it is the original. Proportions are definitely a little weird, but you know, this is the original G1 figure, and also this was supposed to be more of like a mech suit or something to that effect, rather than a humanoid. Well, I guess it's a humanoid mech suit, but like it wasn't a sentient robot. So I feel like the weird proportions aren't all that weird. In a way, it kind of matches up with his core robot mode because he's got the extremely long, kind of gangly looking arms that go down way too far. But this is really cool. I really like this. It's like, looking at the head, it's it doesn't, like, the head shape, like the helmet shape is very Ultra Magnus, but the face is not. That's just generic silver-faced robot thing with a very silly helmet with some smokestack ears, but it was the thing that would become Magnus. And in this mode also, when you're looking at that chest detail, it goes a long way to hiding the fact that this is just like a little jet thing, because yeah, that seat is still there, but you don't really notice it. I do think it's cool though that you can see through the through the openings here, through the opening in the red bit from the trailer, into the windows, which, you know, knowing that this is intended for the original Diaclone figure, that's where the pilots sit and look out of. Because if you look at the eyes in there, there's nothing going on in those eyes. I think this is his smaller robot's forehead peeking out through the eye holes, but I don't know. I think there's something neat about like both how this is classic Ultra Magnus, but also thinking about it in terms of what the original Diaclone toy was supposed to be. And I just think it's really neat that you've got the little cockpit windows in there that the drivers would totally be like actually looking out of. Also, he rolls in this mode really, really well, which is funny. But again, because this is supposed to be like a mech suit thing, I think this actually works. It's weird how I actually appreciate this toy more through the lens of it originally being intended as a Diaclone thing, when I never would have known that as a child. But it's a really cool, very classic figure that is a classic for a reason, and I am very thrilled to have him in my collection again. Now, for articulation, you still can't do anything with the head. The arms do not go out, but they can rotate all the way around. You still get bicep rotation. You still get up to 90 degrees of elbow. And you still get wrist rotation because the fists are pegged in. And that's it. That's all you're getting. He does not have any leg movement whatsoever because... well, because of this. You got this going on back here. There's nothing here to move because it's just a sleeve for the core robot. Actually, as I'm looking at this, looking at the date on the back, it just says 1984. Okay. I was kind of hoping it'd have the date of the reissue on there, but it does not. But anyway, there's Magnus. Also, as you might expect, when he's all armored up, he is much, much bigger. There's a classic Masterpiece Carbot, who, as a reminder, is pretty much the same height as the core robot, so that's how much bigger he gets. Just for the heck of it, bring in Leader Class, I think this was Leader Class, Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus from Generation Selects. I still have a lot of fondness for this figure, and I cannot explain why, but I still really, really like this guy. But yeah, this G1 version, much bigger. And because why not? Here he is with New Age, was it Octavian? I think it was Octavian. Their Legends-ish scale version of Ultra Magnus, who I still just absolutely love this toy so much. Love this guy. He is wonderful. Here they are together, and I never really put them side by side until this just now, but like it's kind of nothing. It is extremely impressive how hard New Age went with the deco on this version, like the sticker / tampagraphing detail, the molded details, like you've got these kind of ridged sections on the forearms of the original, and you've got molding for, like, they're not like semicircles coming out of the forearms anymore, but like the molded ridges are there. The sticker detailing very closely matches, like the detailing on the shins very closely matches the sticker detailing there. It's really, really cool. I suppose they did him a disservice is the wrong word, but I suppose it's not accurate giving him yellow eyes. He should just have completely unpainted hollow eyes to be G1 toy accurate, but I still I love this, and they even did like the little arrows at the bottom of the chest thingy for the little, I don't know, go faster stabilizer whatever things for the what is supposed to be an aircraft. I really like that, and even the colors are actually like really close to being spot on. And that's kind of it. This video sucks. I'm sorry. It's still a fantastic figure for what it is. It's, very limited articulation, parts forming transformation, but it's G1. It's a playset. You've got the core robot, the power armor that makes Ultra Magnus, but then the trailer can be like a little base, can be a little repair bay. You can do other stuff with it. I'm sure you could fan mode some stuff. The little missile launcher things can actually peg into where the fists are pegged into, so they can become little welding arms or something, or just missile launchers for the base mode when you have the core robot running around. You got options, and that's just super cool. I feel like maybe this is my favorite G1 toy. I never owned every single G1's figure, but I feel like this is the whole package. You get that fun transformation. It's fun to mess with. You got lots of different modes to play around with, reasons to transform it back and forth, because you've got the vehicle mode, the robot mode, the core robot mode, the base mode that's highly configurable, and it just looks fantastic. I don't know. I just think this is probably, that's probably my favorite. But I think that's going to do it. I have no idea where any of this is going. I'm surprised anyone's still watching at this point, but thank you if you are. That's all I got. I'm gonna try to move back into covering figures as best I can. Not that I'm stopping the Duck Tank Talk stuff. I just, I like talking about figures. And I don't always have a big spicy opinion to share about every little thing. So for now, I'm just kind of winging it. Hopefully the next video won't be as much of a mess as this one has been, but thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in whatever the next one is.